लफ़ी खुस्र इल्लल्लज़ीना आमनु व आमिलुस्सालिहाति व तवासौ बिल-हक़्क़ि व तवासौ बिस-सब्र. Today the topic of discussion would be pityriasis versicolor. I have chosen this relatively easier, smaller topic for the reason that it is a very common presentation in the population of Gilgit-Baltistan, which I have observed. I have worked in many places, and here it is very much common. The incidence is very high. In my OPD, out of every 10 patients that I see, 2 to 3 patients are usually suffering from pityriasis versicolor. Patient will come and just tell me, Doctor Sahab, मुझे बर्स निकल आया है, and the answer is usually pityriasis versicolor, because the patient's fear is basically vitiligo. They are afraid of having vitiligo, and actually this is the hyperpigmented variety of pityriasis versicolor which they are suffering from. What is pityriasis versicolor? It is basically an infectious disorder which is caused by yeast, and it is mild chronic infectious disorder which is characterized by presence of scaly macules and patches which are mostly present on the upper trunk of the patient. These may be discrete, but usually they are confluent, and the color varies. Therefore the name is versicolor. That is, the variety of color are seen. It is interesting that in dark patients the patches are usually hypopigmented, whereas in fair skinned persons these are hyperpigmented. However, I have seen both varieties in the same patient as well. That is, at some place there will be hypopigmented patches, and at the other areas there will be hyperpigmented patches. The skin over the patches is kind of wrinkled, and it gives a false appearance of atrophic skin, though it is not. And these browny scales, they are more prominent when you scratch the skin. Patient की अगर हम हिस्ट्री लें तो सर they usually say कि नहाने में मैल सा उतरता है, तो it is appreciated like that. This is the clinical picture. As you can see, the fear of patient of having vitiligo is quite true, but when clinically we can see that these are hypopigmented patches, not depigmented. Depigmented ऐसे होंगे जैसे ये वेस्ट का कलर है, but the hypopigmented will be relatively of the having lesser melanin than the normal skin. Confluent in the center, and then they are spreading out as satellite lesions, and usually in the upper trunk, because the yeast, it is lipophilic and it likes to grow on the areas which are having seborrheic distribution, that is the oil producing glands of the body. Causative organism, this is basically of the genus Malassezia. Malassezia sympodialis, globosa and furfur are mostly seen. It is basically a normal commensal or part of the normal flora, this yeast. What are the factors which cause this normal flora to turn in a pathogenic way are not very much clear. However, the hot and humid weather causes the conversion of this dimorphic yeast from the budding form to the mycelial form. And these mycelia, that is the filamentous form, they are important when we observe the pathogenic lesions, that is, their number is more. Otherwise, in the normal flora, when it is present in the globular budding form. So microscopy of the scales will be showing thick-walled budding yeast and the coarse septate mycelium. These septate mycelium are basically, they tell us that here they are causing the pathogenesis. Otherwise, they are normal commensals, and 100% of the population may be having this in the normal flora, especially the tropical regions. More prone age is the early 20s and late teens, when the seborrheic glands are most active, and therefore this lipophilic type of variety affects in this age group mostly. Also, as we all know that in early 20s, person is more active otherwise in the life, and they are young adults are usually sweaty, athletic, doing their various physical activities. So it is more commonly found in this age group. Sex is usually equal, that there is no gender distribution, but here in Pakistan, due to the culture of wearing burqa and the scarves, I have mostly seen it in female patients because they are covered more, and so it causes the hot humid environment which predisposes to this condition. Other associated conditions include the host factors like the low immunity in someone. For example, a person suffering from Cushing syndrome, a malnourished person is more hypothetically more predisposed to develop it. A person who is on taking steroids, OCP usage, obesity as well, and in some cases, in some reports, according to some reports, HIV patients are more prone to develop this. Especially they develop the recalcitrant variety, which is not very, which is resistant to the treatment. Pathophysiology, as I already discussed, the exact factors which cause this normal commensal to behave in a pathogenic way is not very clear, but some reports say that there are results about immune deficiency in the persons who are more predisposed to develop this infection, and they tend to develop it in a recurrent manner. Patients will come and say कि ये डॉक्टर साहब मुझे हर समर में होता है. उनके साथ जो हमारे आर्ग्यूमेंट होता है कि आपकी नहाने की फ्रिक्वेंसी अच्छी नहीं है, बट दे आर एडमेंट कि नो वी हैव अ वेरी गुड हाइजेनिक रूटीन, बट स्टिल वी आर developing this problem again and again. Sometimes there is a history of application of oils, as the yeast is lipophilic, so these persons who are applying oils on their body are again more predisposed to develop it. Histopathology, though it is not usually done as the diagnosis is clinical, but it will be showing hyperkeratosis, that is proliferation of the stratum corneum, which is the uppermost layer, parakeratosis, that is retention of nuclei in the uppermost layer, which shows the increased turnover of cells. There is slight acanthosis. Acanthosis is the hyperproliferation of the main layer, that is the spongiotic layer of the cells. But the inflammatory infiltrate is very mild, so this is not a very inflammatory condition. And और patients की जो complaint होती है वो भी ये होती है कि हल्की फुल्की खारिश होती है. There are inflammatory cell infiltrate बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं हमें मिलता. Most cells, few mast cells might be present. Infecting organism is usually retained in the upper stratum corneum, where we can see the budding yeast and mycelium. Now, what causes the altered color? Why at some areas the color is hypopigmented and the other areas it is hyperpigmented? It is said that these yeasts are producing certain dicarboxylic acids, like azelaic acid, for example, and which causes the inhibition of the tyrosinase enzyme, and hence there is decreased production of melanin, which leads to the cytotoxic effects and further hypopigmentation. Azelaic acid, it is interesting to note that this compound is also used for the treatment of melasma. छाइयों की treatment में हम azelaic acid को use करते हैं, which is a product of these yeast. Hyperkeratosis, which occurs in this, is usually the cause which causes the hyperpigmented lesions. The hyperpigmentation, it persists even after the treatment. जब हम ट्रीटमेंट कर देते हैं ऑर्गेनिज्म वहाँ से ख़त्म हो जाता है, बट स्टिल दिस केमिकल प्रोसेस since it has occurred and the cytotoxic effect on melanocytes has taken place, so the hyperpigmentation persists. पेशेंट का कई दफ़ा ख्याल होता है कि मेरा ठीक होने का मतलब ये है कि निशान ख़त्म हो जाएंगे बिल्कुल, बट इनिशियली जो स्केलिंग होती है दैट गोज़ अवे. जो पिगमेंटेशन है इट रिस्पॉन्ड्स लेटर, आहिस्ता आहिस्ता कलर वापस आता है. This is the histopathology. Sir, pointer up. This is the stratum corneum, hyperkeratosis in it. These are the budding yeast, the black spores like structures, and few mycelia seen here. In this relatively bigger magnification, you can appreciate the presence of this. Slight acanthosis of the spongiotic layer, and the inflammatory infiltrate is not very dense. What are the environmental factors which predispose to this problem? As I have already mentioned, the warm climate, the hot, humid weather, therefore it is more common in tropical areas as well as in the subtropical areas. Patient की history भी ये होती है कि जी summer में start होता है मुझे. Bathing frequency and hygiene also plays an important role. This condition, though infectious, but it is not considered very contagious. However, in siblings, they might be suffering from the same problem because of living in the same environmental conditions, but it is considered not to be as contagious as other infectious diseases are. Clinical features, if we go into more detail of the distribution, The distribution is in the upper trunk. Sometimes the spread is so much so that it involves, after involving the upper trunk, neck and abdomen, it goes into the flexures and then extend down the forearm up to the back of the hands. बहुत दफ़ा मतलब जो बुरका क्लेड बच्चियाँ मेरे पास आती हैं वो सिर्फ इधर से अपना उठाती है स्लीव और यहाँ तक पैचेस पहुँचे होती हैं. दे टेल मी कि इट्स प्रेजेंट ऑन ऑल ऑफ देयर बॉडी. और मेन फियर इज़ कि कोई हमें बर्स हो गया है या कोई इस किस्म का प्रॉब्लम हो गया है. A relatively uncommon presentation of this variety of fungus causes an infection which is Pityrosporum folliculitis. That is, it presents in the form of papules and pustules which are just mimicking acne present on the trunk. But how to differentiate from acne? That acne is a itchy condition. Acne is a non-itchy condition, whereas Pityrosporum folliculitis causes itching. There is previously a history of extensive use of antibiotic. Patient ने किसी वजह से antibiotic का एक कोर्स लिया होता है, उसके बाद ये जो yeast है, which is a normal flora, it kind of becomes pathogenic and presents in the form of Pityrosporum folliculitis. Secondly, the patient, अगर हम उसको ऐसे patient को acne समझ के acne वाला treatment दें, if we give him or her antibiotics, he won't be responding to antibiotics, rather he will be responding to antifungals, topical as well as oral drugs. So clinically it is important presentation because every time a patient comes with truncal lesions, clinician would be inclined to give him or her antibiotics. But sometimes when there is a prolonged treatment of acne is going on and patient has been on antibiotics for long, it might be a presentation of fungus. This is the hyperpigmented variety of pityriasis versicolor, which is on the upper back. How to diagnose? The diagnosis is mainly clinical. We can the scales which are Brani scales, they can be appreciated more either by applying a duct tape which will become less transparent, or Besnier sign. That this is just a fancy name for a dermatological thing that आप nail से उसको scrape करें, आप उसको अपने नाखून से थोड़ा सा scrape करेंगे तो वो जो scales हैं वो ज़्यादा prominent हो जाएंगे. Sometimes QH mount is done and the appearance of the rounded globular yeast and the mycelia, it is given again a fancy name, spaghetti and meatball appearance. Then there is a tool, Wood's lamp, which can be used to differentiate it from other pigmentary lesions. Wood's lamp basically gives UV light, and these yeasts will be producing certain pigments which lead to a pale yellow fluorescence. And with the help of Wood's lamp, we can differentiate it from other differential diagnosis from the other dermatoses which are causing hypo or hyperpigmentation. Culture is usually not offered by the labs as it is a normal part of normal flora, but it can be grown on seborrheic dextrose adder. This is a Wood's lamp examination. Probably it is not very much appreciable with this laptop, but the fluorescence is pale yellow. The lesions, they tend to give a yellow fluorescence. Wood's lamp examination is done in a dark room, and when we turn on the light, the lesions get more enhanced in giving a yellowish kind of tinge. Differential diagnosis for the hyperpigmented lesions would be different from those where the hypopigmentation is present. The dermatosis which cause hypopigmentation, they will also come into the differential diagnosis. Since the fear is mostly of vitiligo, so I have kept it on the top. Vitiligo, as we all know, that it is a milky white appearance, the depigmented lesion. However, in the initial phases of development of vitiligo, it can cause difficulty in diagnosis. When we have such a suspicion, we can ask the patient to come after a few weeks. We can also do the Besnier sign, that is the nail scratching by nails, to see if there is any scaling present. Scaling would be present in pityriasis versicolor, but it will not be present in the case of vitiligo. Vitiligo might be present in other areas of the body, but the pityriasis versicolor lesions are usually in the seborrheic distribution, that is in the upper trunk areas, and vitiligo is usually a stable lesion. It grows less slowly as compared to pityriasis versicolor, which will tend to spread in a more rapid manner. Then there is the lesion which is nevus depigmentosus. It is also seen in early years as the development of nevi takes place. As the name indicated, it is depigmented, but it is actually, this is a misnomer. It is a hypopigmented lesion. Since it is a nevus, it will be unilateral usually, it won't be bilaterally symmetrical like in the case of pityriasis versicolor. Again, the lesion will be there for a long time without any change in its color. बच्चों में कई दफ़ा ये होता है कि मदर्स कहती हैं कि ये बड़ा हो रहा है, उसमें ये होता है कि as the child grows, the lesion, the nevus grows proportionate to the growth of the child. तो माँ का क्योंकि मेन फोकस उसी लीजन पे होता है, उसको लग रहा होता है कि ये बड़ा हो रहा है, बट एक्चुअली इट इज़ इन प्रोपोर्शन टू द और बॉडी पार्ट वेयर इट इज़ प्रेजेंट. सो हम उसका एक पिगमेंट्री वो पिक्चर का रिकॉर्ड रख लेते हैं. हम वी आस्क द मदर टू हैव अ पिक्टोरल रिकॉर्ड. आजकल तो मोबाइल पे कैमरास वगैरह मौजूद हैं कि आप तस्वीर ले लें एंड देन ऑब्जर्व द लीजन, क्योंकि इसका एक इंपॉर्टेंट डिफरेंशियल विटिलिगो भी है. Melasma, a very common problem in mostly our females, present on pigmentation which is present on the face. Pityriasis versicolor, sometimes it grows upwards and can involve the face as well. The lesions will be, the hyperpigmented variety has to be differentiated from melasma. Lesion will be will not be scaly. In the case of melasma, it will not be itchy. However, in melasma, sometimes patients have applied different type of creams due to which there is element of dermatitis and it might be itchy. At that time, Wood's lamp will be of great help to differentiate melasma from pityriasis versicolor. Syphilis is a great mimicker and it mimics many dermatoses in its various phases. The secondary syphilis, the rash of secondary syphilis can cause confusion with pityriasis versicolor, but the rash of syphilis is non-itchy. It will be associated with constitutional symptoms. There will be lymphadenopathy. If we ask history, then the relevant history of having a genital ulcer few months back will be present. The sexual contact history will be there. And also in syphilis, on the palms there are lesions. The copper penny like lesions are present, which are pathognomic for secondary syphilis, which are not present in the case of pityriasis versicolor. Then comes Tinea corporis. It is like a cousin brother of pityriasis versicolor. It is a fungal infection, but the lesion of Tinea corporis are slightly more raised and they are in the distribution of a ring. There is a ring, and then in the surrounding area there will be satellite lesions. When the lesion is not very enlarged, in the initial stage it might be causing confusion with pityriasis versicolor, but since the treatment is same, so clinically it will not make a difference, because हमने patient को अगर antifungals ही देने हैं तो. Pityriasis rosea is a rash which develops in a Christmas tree pattern on the trunk of a patient in response to various viral infections of the throat. It's kind of a reactionary rash, and it is characterized with the presence of a herald patch, that is a bigger patch of erythematous scaly lesion. It appears, it heralds the appearance of rest of the rash. It appears first and later on the rest of the rash comes all of a sudden. And the Christmas tree pattern is that like the stems of a Christmas tree, the lesions, their longitudinal axis is distributed along with that. आगे एक picture आएगी, इससे ज़्यादा clear हो जाएगा. Then comes erythrasma. It is a corynebacterium infection, and it has the same predisposing factors just like pityriasis versicolor, that is in the hot humid weather it occurs, in early teens, in early 20s it occurs, but it is present in flexural areas. These are brownish scaly patches, brown to red brown, which are present on the flexural areas. आगे इसकी pictures हैं, उससे ज़्यादा clear हो जाएगा. This is erythrasma, as I already mentioned कि brownish red सा patch होगा, flexures के अंदर होगा, थोड़ा सा scaly होगा. Sometimes it may coexist with pityriasis versicolor. बाकी body में pityriasis versicolor होगा और यहाँ ये होगा, लेकिन ये थोड़ा सा moist lesion होता है, because flexures के अंदर थोड़ा sweaty रहता है, तो lesion is relatively moist. And a very specific feature is the coral red fluorescence of erythrasma, जो उन bacteria की वजह से होती है, which are the causative organism for this. The reddish tinge, as you can appreciate here, coral red fluorescence of erythrasma. This is a lesion of nevus depigmentosus present in the face of a patient. यूनिलैटरल है, हाइपोपिगमेंटेड है, नॉन स्केली है, काफ़ी अरसे से वहीं होगा, बॉडी के प्रोपोर्शनेट ग्रो कर रहा होगा. Tinea corporis, when it starts, as I told you, can mimic it, but the lesions are usually ring shaped, slightly raised इसका border होता है. जो ring worm infection का word हम use करते हैं typically, दूर से देखने पे हम कह सकते हैं कि it looks like pityriasis vesicular, but with the help of a magnifying glass we can very easily appreciate the raised border of the rings. Secondary syphilis, the palmar lesions which are present in this, and they can differentiate from pityriasis vesicular. Also, the relatively uncommon presence of secondary syphilis in the population. This is the rash of pityriasis rosea. This is the herald patch, the scaly bigger patch, and the other macules and patches, they are relatively far apart. And though in this picture it is not very clear, they are following a Christmas tree pattern. ये इस तरह ट्री की ब्रांचेस जैसे नीचे जाती हैं तो उसका जो longitudinal axis होता है इन छोटे macules का, it is like that. It is usually a self-limiting rash. Vitiligo is, as we have mostly seen, milky white color. The depigmented color of vitiligo is a differentiating feature. If the diagnosis is not clear clinically, then the microscopy can show these coarse mycelium as well as the spherical thick walled yeast, and the name spaghetti and meatball, or sometimes it is called banana or grapes. नाम लिखने वाला बहुत फूडी था, मेरा ख्याल है उसने सारे इसी तरह के रखे. ये जी बनाना एंड ग्रेप्स या फिर स्पैगेटी एंड मीटबॉल अपीयरेंस है. हाउ टू मैनेज इट? फ्यू थिंग्स विच आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इन मैनेजमेंट के द रैश इज़ रिकरेंट. पेशेंट सेज कि मुझे ये बार बार होता है, तो रिलैप्स की प्रिवेंशन की ज़रूरत है. पेशेंट को हम जब ट्रीट करते हैं तो उसको इस चीज़ का काउंसिल करना कि ही हैज़ टू अवॉइड हॉट एंड ह्यूमिड क्लाइमेट. जो स्वेटी क्लोथ्स हैं उनमें ज़्यादा देर तक नहीं रहना. जो वेस्ट या अंडर गारमेंट्स हैं वो कॉटन के इस्तेमाल करने हैं और उनको जल्दी चेंज करना है. इसके अलावा ये जो जिम वेयर होता है उसमें जो मतलब कपड़े होते हैं वो हवा उसमें से इतनी अच्छी नहीं गुजरती, तो उस वक्त स्वेटी इन्वायरमेंट भी होता है, तो ऑल द प्री डिस्पोजिंग फैक्टर्स आर देयर. तो उससे ये हिस्ट्री भी लेनी है कि आप ये कुछ करते हैं तो इस चीज़ को काइंडली अवॉइड करें. ओरल ट्रीटमेंट जो है वो एंटी फंगल्स हेपेटोटॉक्सिक होने की वजह से बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं यूज़ करने चाहिए, और मेनली दे शुड बी यूज्ड फॉर रेसिस्टेंट केसेस या जिनमें बार बार ये मसला आ रहा है. हाइपोपिगमेंटेशन विच विल बी परसिस्टिंग, इसमें थोड़ी सी हेल्प हम ये कर सकते हैं कि पेशेंट को कहें कि आप सन एक्सपोजर करें. जब वो अपने जिस्म के साथ मतलब वो सनलाइट में एक्सपोज करता है तो मेलानिन ट्रिगर होता है एंड द कलर टर्न्स बैक रिलेटिवली क्विकली, अदरवाइज जो उसने आना था. तो उनका जो मेन फियर होता है कि डॉक्टर साहब आपने दवाई तो दी लेकिन पैचेस तो वहीं के वहीं है, मैं तो ठीक नहीं हुआ, तो फिर वो भी आप उसका दूर कर सकते हैं कि जी आप धूप लगवाएं जिस्म को. ट्रीटमेंट जो है ये 2 to 3 वीक्स ड्यूरेशन लेती है जो हम टॉपिकल लगवाते हैं, इसलिए पेशेंट हैज़ टू बी रेगुलर विद अप्लाइंग एप्लीकेशन ऑफ द थेरेपी. वेरियस एंटीफंगल्स, एजोल्स एज वेल एज एलाइलामीन्स कैन बी यूज्ड. ट्रीटमेंट लेटर में फर्स्ट लाइन तो वही टॉपिकल एजोल्स हैं, क्लोट्रिमाजोल, माइकोनाजोल वगैरह जो अवेलेबल हैं मुख्तलिफ नामों से. दे कैन बी अप्लाइड फॉर 2 to 3 वीक्स. दैन टेरबिनाफिन कैन बी अप्लाइड फॉर 2 to 3 वीक्स. लोशन फॉर्म में ज़्यादा इजी हो जाता है बॉडी के अगर ज़्यादा एरियाज़ पे इन्वॉल्वमेंट हो अप्लाई करना. क्रीम फॉर्म अगर थोड़ी जगह इन्वॉल्व है तो वहाँ आप यूज़ करा सकते हैं. कीटोकोनाजोल शैम्पू, ये जो कोनाज वगैरह है इनका यूज़, इसको एज अ बॉडी वॉश यूज़ करवाएं. पेशेंट को कहें लिक्विड सोप इसको यूज़ करें, तो वो अल्टरनेट डे पे ट्वाइस वीकली इसका इस्तेमाल जो है वो ना सिर्फ ये कि इसको कंट्रोल करता है बल्कि प्रिवेंशन के लिए भी वी कैन आस्क कि वीकली आप इसके साथ नहा लें जिन पेशेंट में रिकरेंस बहुत ज़्यादा है या उनका लाइफस्टाइल ऐसा है कि हॉट ह्यूमिड इन्वायरमेंट में उनको रहना पड़ता है. ये जो सेल्स एंड ब्लू टाइप का 2.5% सेलेनियम शैम्पूज़ जो हैं दे कैन ऑल्सो बी यूज फॉर द सेम पर्पज़. Some workers have found lactic acid as well as diclofenac gel to be effective as well. लेकिन ये जब बहुत सस्ते चीज़ें मौजूद हैं तो उसकी इतनी ख़ास ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ती. Second line drug that is oral treatment is with the itraconazole which is given 200 mg daily for 5 days. It will eradicate this. फ्लूकोनाजोल बाज़ लोग 150 mg वीकली देते हैं, सम बुक्स से दैट 400 mg स्टैट डोजेज विल आल्सो सफिस। अब आइदर ये 50 mg का आता है या 150 mg का आता है, तो 2 कैप्सूल आप स्टैट में भी दे सकते हैं। कीटोकोनाजोल इतना ज़्यादा पसंद नहीं किया जाता बिकॉज ऑफ बीइंग हेपेटोटॉक्सिक, बट 200 mg OD फॉर 7 to 10 days फॉर रिकल्सिट्रेट केसेस रेडिकेट्स द लीजन। ओरल टर्बिनाफिन एंड ग्लाइसोफिल्मिन सॉल्ट मैंने नॉट अवेलेबल लिख दिया है, दे आर नॉट इफेक्टिव फॉर ट्रीटिंग दिस। थैंक यू। एनी क्वेश्चंस?